Tonight on Panorama, the human cost of the electric vehicle revolution.
The people are suffering, really suffering.
We investigate where the raw materials for car batteries come from.
Tunnel collapses are common. They happen all the time. Everyone knew someone who was killed or maimed in a tunnel collapse.
We ask, is the biggest electric car maker living up to its promises?
We've had a fantastic year, thanks to the great work of the Tesla team.
And is the world's richest man doing enough to protect some of the poorest people on the planet?
What I would tell them is pay attention to the humanity down there. See their sufferings, hear their cries.
The Democratic Republic of the Congo is at the heart of the electric car revolution. Nearly 2/3 of the world's cobalt is mined here. It's a metal used in batteries in electric vehicles. And the town of Kolwezi sits on the richest seam.
Congo is one of the most biggest producer of cobalt. Kolwezi is where the most mineral is. So that's why they call it Kolwezi is the capital of cobalt.
It has very specific physical properties that make it uniquely suited for batteries in particular. And it's only recently now with our drive towards decarbonization where all of a sudden now it is a critical commodity. Every car manufacturer is going to want this metal. If they're going to make an electric car or a hybrid car, they're going to want cobalt.
Kolwezi should be a wealthy town. But a legacy of political corruption in the mining industry means few have profited from the cobalt boom.
When you come here in Kolwezi and try to see the people living in the community where cobalt is coming from, you are surprised because there's abject poverty. Children do not have access to school. Sometimes there's no drinking water, and also electricity is not there in some of the communities.
There are big commercial mines here, but up to 30% of the cobalt is dug by hand in artisanal mines. It gets mixed into the supply chain and is impossible to trace. Experts say that none of the electric car makers can be sure they haven't used cobalt from mines like this one. The people who are working here, really, they don't have much choice. If they want to make money, they've got to come down here. And this picture, you will find this all across Kolwezi in different spots. Kolwezi is also home to the electric car industry's fiercest critics. The nuns of the Sisters of the Good Shepherd.
I am Sister Jane Wainoi.
My name is Sister Mary Kisilu. My name is Sister Anouarit Jolie.
I'm Sister Flora. I'm working in the finance department. I'm Sister Cecilia, working with the children.
I'm Sister Justicia, working as Program Operations Manager.
This order of nuns know the car industry depends on the cobalt mined in their community.
I can see you.
How are you?
Very good.
now they want the world to know the human cost of an electric car battery.
In Kolwezi, you find poverty is a lot and many people are suffering because the minerals which are there, they are not helping the people of Kolwezi.
The nuns worry the race for cobalt is taking too big a toll, and that problems at the bottom of our electric car revolution are ignored by those at the very top.
Kolwezi, yes, it's the capital for cobalt, but the people are suffering. They are suffering, really suffering.
All the big car companies need cobalt. Sales of electric cars could reach 40 million a year by the end of the decade. It's a green revolution that promises to help combat global warming. Every single automobile giant is fighting for supremacy in this new world order. Make electric cars, dominate the market, save the planet. Easy. Leading the challenge is controversial and colourful multi-billionaire Elon Musk.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk!
Musk is an innovator with a prime-time profile.
My impression of Elon Musk is probably colored by his sort of public demeanor more than anything else.
To anyone I've offended, I just want to say I reinvented electric cars and I'm sending people to Mars in a rocket ship. Did you think I was also going to be a chill, normal dude?
His space exploration company wants to colonize the cosmos. Back on Earth, Musk runs Tesla, the world's most valuable car company.
If you think of what is the future automobile, most folks will think of Tesla. That's a really difficult thing to achieve in the market.
Tesla is now worth more than BMW, Volkswagen, Toyota, Ford, and General Motors combined. Elon Musk likes to do things big. His factory here in Nevada is planned to be the biggest in the world. His Tesla cars, well, they're the best-selling electric vehicles on the planet. And he himself, today he's the richest man alive. Tesla hopes to sell 1 million electric cars this year. Elon Musk's company has become the standard bearer for the electric car revolution.
The fundamental good of Tesla, it's like if you look back in history and say, what good did Tesla do? The good will be to by how many years did we accelerate sustainable energy? That's like the true metric of success.
Tesla's vehicles have an average of 3 kilos of cobalt in their batteries. That's less than some rivals, and the company is removing the metal from some of its cheaper models. But analysts say it's still putting more cobalt on the road than any other brand. Tesla says it's sourced in an ethical way. It aspires to be a do-the-right-thing company. In other words, engaging in conduct that your family would be proud of. But the nuns of Kolwezi don't think Tesla and its rivals are doing enough.
What I would tell them is to try to look back downstream and try to see how are they sourcing these materials, which is making them to continue growing in their businesses. Pay attention to the humanity down there. See their sufferings, hear their cries.
The miners here have paid a high price for the cobalt that powers the world. Some are now suing Tesla and other big companies over accidents in Kolwezie's mines. The victims don't want to be identified. Can you tell me what happened to you?
I was carrying a sack on my shoulders. I fell into a pit and broke my back.
This man was severely injured when a pit wall collapsed on him.
I want to work. Life is hard for my family and I want to help. But I can't. My legs hurt all the time.
And this man told me he was shot in the back by a soldier guarding a mine.
Since I was shot, I can't work. I'm in too much pain.
An American judge accepted that there had been horrifying injuries. But 3 weeks ago, he ruled that Tesla and the other companies using cobalt couldn't be held responsible for the incidents. The victims are appealing.
The kids that I now represent, every one of them told me that mine collapses, tunnel collapses, are common. They happen all the time. Everyone knew someone who was killed or maimed in a tunnel collapse. And that each time one of these kids crawled into a tunnel, they knew that that tunnel was going to collapse at some point. The only question they have in their mind is it going to collapse while I am in it?
The mines dominate life here, but local people don't think they get their fair share of the underground riches. The community here still relies on clean water provided by the sisters. And there's donated food for the children's lunches. This delivery has been sent by the mining company that supplies Tesla.
They look forward to the lunch, and sometimes that is the only meal for the day for some and the only meal for the weekend.
But the nuns don't want to rely on handouts.
Sometimes I go to the people, I'm like, God, how are these people surviving?
It's why the Good Shepherd nuns want change. They've already helped the industry reduce child labour in artisanal mines.
We have been successful in removing 4,000 children from the mines. I am proud of this because we are trying to achieve something and giving a real solution to some real problems.
Tesla says it's trying to remove cobalt from its batteries. But last summer, it agreed a deal to buy up to 6,000 tons a year from Kolwezi. The deal is controversial because of Tesla's choice of mining partner, Glencore.
Glencore is one of the world's largest diversified natural resource companies.
Glencore says an independent verification process ensures it does not supply cobalt from artisanal mines. But in 2019, more than 40 artisanal miners died at one of its sites. They were trespassing on the mine when 2 tunnels collapsed.
There was one part of the site the diggers could get onto illegally, with the help of the security guards. The guards were badly paid, so the diggers negotiated with them to get onto the mine.
Glencore says it has improved security since the accident, including the construction of this 43-kilometre wall. It's part of the company's $8 billion investment in the DRC. But we've discovered artisanal miners have been climbing over the wall. In fact, one died in an accident on Glencore site 10 days ago. There have been other problems with Tesla's supplier. These are pictures from local TV reporting a leak of sulfuric acid from a Glencore mine. Local people say it poisoned the river and surrounding farmland.
We have a case of KCC, which is a Glencore mine. There was a lot of acid which were spread out the mine, and there was a lot of negative impact on communities.
Glencore says it contained the leak and no remedial measures were required outside the mine. But now Tesla's supplier is causing more anger in the town. It's trying to evict thousands of artisanal miners. They have been working here for more than a decade. Glencore says it bought the site in 2015 and that this is an illegal and organised operation.
We are a local community. The diggers are all from here in this cooperative. Glencore's everywhere, and now they're even taking these mines.
This is a fight about who owns Kolwezi's cobalt. It's back-breaking work, but these diggers can at least earn a living. If Glencore takes over, the mine will be safer, but far fewer workers will be needed.
I have about 15,000 people here, but they will be left with no work. We've children, wives, families. We can't live like this.
Glencore says it will help relocate the miners if a suitable site can be found. But thousands face eviction by Tesla's supplier. It's one way Elon Musk's electric revolution is playing out here.
You can't tell someone this is where he's getting the daily bread or the food for the family. You tell that person stop, but then you don't offer an alternative. It's like killing that person.
The sisters are trying to empower the local community. This is their farm, and today they're celebrating a community bank that's been set up by the nuns. But the sisters want real change, and where better to start than the world's richest man and his trillion-dollar company. The Good Shepherd Order have used the experience of the sisters here in Kolwezi to take their campaign for social justice straight to the very face of the electric car revolution, Tesla. They've gone and bought shares of Elon Musk's company.
The Good Shepherd sisters very cleverly decided that one way they could try to help the situation in Kolwezi and the miners is to buy some shares of stock in Tesla and influence some decisions that were made at the board level of Tesla.
To take on Tesla, the nuns of Kolwezi have reached out to America. They are working with their sisters in the US. As company shareholders, they can push for improvements in Tesla's supply chain.
In their literature, they will say they are implementing human rights, but the words at the corporate level do not impact in a real way in the situation that's happening on the ground. And I think today, there's a lot of talk about partnership, but we need ethical partnerships. And this is one way to start moving the conversation.
One Tesla promise the nuns are challenging is that it reviews all information provided by its suppliers for red flags and risks associated with ethical sourcing. But Tesla seems to have ignored a big red flag in its supply chain.
Let's build this country together. Let's develop the mines and the infrastructure together for the benefit of the DRC.
This is Dan Gertler, a middleman who's accused of making a fortune from corrupt mining deals in the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
My heart was telling me, Dan, this is the place.
Tesla's supplier, Glencore, made secret payments to him for years. In 2017, he was sanctioned by the US for corrupt dealings in the DRC. Mr. Gertler denies it all and says his charitable foundation has given millions to the country. But Tesla seems to have ignored a big red flag in its supply chain.
Let's build this country together. Let's develop the mines and the infrastructure together for the benefit of the DRC.
This is Dan Gertler, a middleman who's accused of making a fortune from corrupt mining deals in the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
My heart was telling me that.
Tesla's supplier, Glencore, made secret payments to him for years. In 2017, he was sanctioned by the US for corrupt dealings in the DRC. Mr. Gertler denies it all and says his charitable foundation has given millions to the country. But the US authorities say his corruption has cost the DRC more than $1 billion.
The accusations against Mr. Gertler with respect to his listing were almost all corruption related. But many people will tell you that corruption and human rights violations, they really go hand in hand here because of the kind of conditions that people were living in the mines, their inability to sort of get money out of their hard work, etc. So he was involved in the corruption component, which is why he was listed. But many folks think the human rights issue, he should have also ticks that box.
Sanctions were supposed to stop Mr. Gertler profiting from his deals in the DRC. But Glencore is still paying him royalties for the minerals it mines in Kolwezi. More than €100 million a year. We've been given documents by the whistleblowing charity Palaf that show some of the payments. Here you can see €11 million in just one transaction. That's cash from the mines going straight into the pockets of one of the most notorious middlemen on the planet. Glencore's business in the DRC is now under criminal investigation in both the UK and the US. The company says it's committed to operating ethically. The royalties in euros don't breach US sanctions, and it's legally obliged to pay them. It says it has no desire to continue dealing with Dan Gertler. But the middleman is profiting from every ton of cobalt that Tesla buys from Glencore.
We've been advocating for a long time for financial accountability for Dan Gertler. The main external exploiter of the people and the resources of the country. So, if you can't have some level of accountability with him, what chance is there anywhere of anything?
It's an interesting company because it's a company that we want to succeed. We need to succeed for the climate crisis, but we don't want there to be any trade-off between human rights and environmental impacts. If Tesla can really get strong human rights standards into their supply chain, it sets a tone for other companies to look at as well.
Today, it's Tesla's annual general meeting, held online. And Sister Winifred has a message for Elon Musk.
The fifth stockholder proposal is an advisory vote regarding additional reporting on human rights. Ms. Doherty, I would like to invite you to speak. You will have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much and good afternoon. I am Winifred Doherty, a member of the Sisters of the Good Shepherd.
The Sisters of the Good Shepherd are asking Tesla to review its supply chain.
We again urge all Tesla shareholders to support Proposal 9, which requests that the Board of Directors commission an independent third-party report.
Elon Musk and the shareholders vote against the nuns' independent report. The company now says it's phasing out cobalt in its cheaper models. But Tesla will remain a major user for years to come.
I'd just like to start off by just thanking the Tesla team for the incredible work over the past year to get where we are. Well done.
The sisters say they'll be back again next year. Supporting the miners who are losing out in the electric car revolution. They think it's time for Elon Musk to give more back. Time for Tesla to live up to its promise and really become a do-the-right-thing company.
We will not lose hope. We will continue working and saying what we are seeing and hearing people saying, because we are called to be the voice of the voiceless.
Life at 50 Degrees explores extreme heat, the most deadly results of the climate crisis. Watch episodes now on BBC iPlayer.